If you're interested in disruption with some creativity in your brand building efforts, then you're probably going to find this recent photo shoot that I did with Amit and the rest of the APT Search team to be quite interesting. Let's get you all inspired and ready to be a little bit disruptive in all of the right ways in your marketplace. Let's go. Before we get going with Amit and the APT Search team's photo shoot today, I want to remind you and invite you to come and subscribe to Moi TV, especially if you're a fellow advocate of being the most disruptive brand in your marketplace. As well as sharing brand photo shoot stories like what we're going to be looking at today, we also get into the science and methodology of branding and creative direction in more detail here on the show. Make sure you hit the bell and you'll be notified when a new episode comes out. Let's meet Amit.
Hello, my name is Amit Pandit. I am the founder of APT Search. We are a talent solutions provider in the legal technology market. We're a team of 5 people operating across the world. Super excited to be here on Moi TV to share the results of our recent branded team photography session.
And what's your background, Amit, before you set up APT Search?
So before setting up APT, I have historically always worked within business development and within talent solutions, recruitment, executive search, call it whatever you want. But essentially, I've always worked with people, something that I love doing, and I've done that ever since I graduated with a degree in international business studies.
And I've always wanted to ask you this. I'm really interested to know what came first, the demand or your really unusual niche? And when you're answering this, go ahead and explain your really unusual niche, because I think it's fascinating.
Well, really, it was probably in a way the niche, because the reason that I started up apps was because I left another organization and essentially I wasn't able to work within the core areas that I was operating within in the past. I had a nice 21-page legal document that landed on my desk and said, these are all the clients that you're not allowed to work with, which is pretty standard stuff in a recruitment or sales-based role. And there was a little area, which is essentially an area called e-discovery, which is kind of like a niche within a niche. So that's within the legal technology sector, that I had really done a very small amount of work within. And I thought it was really, really interesting. I thought, you know what, I'll do this for 6 months and then I'll go back to doing cybersecurity, essentially, which is what I used to do. And I thought I'll take 6 months, go back to it. And then here we are, probably about 14 odd years later down the track, in terms of when I sort of first picked up on this space. So I would say that the niche came and the demand has definitely followed.
Let's go back to shoot day. At the Quayside Regis, which is one of the first offices I ever looked at way back in the day. So it's cool to be back here, and you can see I've got a really simple one softbox set up because we've got such a white, light and bright room. But I think it's going to look a little bit edgy, so in a cool way though. Changed my mind. I'm now bouncing the light like this, which is always a great trick when you have glasses wearers and you don't want the big squares of light or a big circle of light showing up in front of their eyeballs. And using the branding that you've now got in place, Amit, I'm really interested. What are your plans for the next 5 years? How do you want to grow things further?
So growing the business, I guess, we've had a really, really strong year this year. I think the whole branding exercise that we've been through has really elevated kind of where we are as a business now. It's given us a solid foundation more than anything else around just who we are, what we're all about, and where we want to go. So I think that, over the next few years, you're going to see a lot more growth from the business. We are hiring right now and looking to bring on another 2 people immediately. And that will be in the Newcastle office. So if there's anyone out there that's interested in getting into this space, please shout out. It's been a really interesting journey. And I think that one of the key things has just been making sure that, it's something which It's something which is kind of like across the whole business, because it's not just a case of doing one thing like your website. It's really about kind of making sure that everything across all channels is kind of exactly the same. And that's one of the key things that I've learned through this process so far. I think that now that we're on this track, it's something which I'm super excited about. I was excited at the start of the journey, but like it's kind of amped up even more going through this process. And super excited to see where it goes. But certainly things are going well, and we're looking to build on the successes that we've had in 2021. So anyone out there fancies having a chat, please shout out.
Let's take a look and see how these final images sit on the APT Search website.
The web development team have been absolutely fantastic. They were super patient, and they listened to everything in terms of sort of ideas, colorways, kind of what we were trying to get across in terms of the personality of the business and the people within it. Major shout out to Bold on that one. Not only just the kind of the colors, the logo, etc., but like the photography that's in there as well, which is kind of like, showcasing sort of the individuals within the business as well as us in sort of group shots. It really adds to the personalization and the personality of the business.
I'm really interested as well. What has been your biggest takeaway or lesson learned? Like, you've done so much intensive brand work recently. So you've got the new logo, the new identity. We did the photo shoots. You got the new website. And I know you've even added a marketing specialist onto your team as well. What do you wish you'd known before all of that activity? What do you now know as a result of it?
Obviously, it's been a hell of a journey. Learned a lot through the process, and one of the key things I would say is just being consistent throughout the journey of the branding across all different platforms, everything that you've got, making sure that it is on point. It's not just about doing the website. I think the photography that we've done and all the different elements around the logo and the colors that we've used have really kind of come through on everything. And I would say that choosing the right suppliers is kind of the key thing that I've learned. We've done websites in the past, we've done photography in the past, and I think this time really took time to just figure out who was the right supplier for what we needed and who gets us. So I would probably say making sure that you're working with the right people on that journey is key.
And here are the final images. Don't forget you can meet more of my clients by taking a look at my Meet My Clients playlist up here right now. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Now before you go anywhere, don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.